man. Ah! Ah! Hey, Tom Moran here, about to do some updates with some molts, perhaps a rehousing, and everybody's been asking about the jumping spiders. We did have babies, and I will do an update on those as well. And then just a little channel update. I am starting my summer vacation soon. I teach, and basically I usually try to put up at least a video a week. In my more prolific months, I try to put up two, like one on Saturday and Wednesday, but it just hasn't been possible the last couple months. Just work's been too darn busy, and I've actually skipped a couple weeks where I haven't been able to get stuff up. So I'm trying. I know I've had a couple people worried because I disappear for a week or so. Just understand, usually from about December on, things get a little tricky for me. So I try to do my best. And again, I pointed out that I've started trying to do a little more with the editing and the videos, and it takes a little more time to set them up than it did in the past. Back in the day, I just basically get one on my cell phone, throw a title on it, throw it up. Now I try to, trim them up, do some voiceover sometimes, and put the comments in, so it takes a little bit longer. So that's one of the unfortunate parts of trying to improve, and I will continue to try to improve the quality of the videos, especially this summer when I have more time. So look for some more daring editing, for lack of a better term. So moving ahead, what we have here is just some updates of things that have gone over. I really have a backlog of quite a few rehousings Billy and I did. We're doing a massive rehousing right now. I'm switching out some of the substrate that I used, and anybody that follows my podcast has probably heard that I had some issues with a bag of substrate that I bought when I got in a pinch, and it's basically poisoning some of my spiders, so we're getting that out of there, and I will do an update video on that as well. So I will shut up for the time being. We will get on to the video. To tell you the truth, I'm not even sure what I'm going to include right now. I'm sitting here in the transfer room shooting the intro and trying to figure out which videos I'm going to put on this one, so it's a surprise even to me, so we'll see how it goes. All right, let's get this off with one of my favorite spiders in my collection that I've featured quite a few times, my Sericopelma species Santa Catalina. Absolutely enamored with how this one looks after her most recent molt. This is one that kind of had an orangey look, almost looked kind of like a Brachypelma when she was growing up. As you can see, that orange is kind of turned to more of a reddish color overall, just really stunning. And there's her molt over there where you can see some of that orange on the legs. Just such a unique looking spider. I was a little worried because I haven't seen too many pictures of these guys that this one was going to lose some of these colorful tones as she put on size. Panthos are notorious for, as they start, the females start looking really pretty and sometimes have the purples and blues that you want to see, and then as they put on size they lose those and turn to a drabber brown, for lack of a better term. This girl seems to be holding on to those colors. Now I measured the molt. The molt was about 5.5, 6 inches or so, so I'm guessing she's got to be about 6.5, 7 inches. And the good news is I have a lead for on a male for her. Hopefully I can hook that up and get this one bred, because I would like to reproduce this species and get some more of these in the hobby. And as I've been showing this one off, I've had a lot of people ask where I got it and where they can get one. And I do believe Tom Patterson has them on occasion. That's where I got this one. It was what got me buying from him, and he's a great guy, been in the business for a while, so you can check him out as well. And up next, I'm going to have a T. Sturmey molt update. As we stare at the molt here, I'll tell a little story to go along with this one. Basically, I've been waiting for her to molt, and I came home the other day, and she was flipped over on her back. There she is, looking absolutely gorgeous and not moving at all. So I'm like, oh good, a molt's coming. Well, I checked on her several hours later. She was still in the exact same spot, was not moving at all. And what I found very concerning was when I took a closer look at her, you can see here she was absolutely covered in what looked like fuzz or white mold. It was all over the substrate beneath her. It had completely coated her undercarriage, like her fangs were covered with it, her abdomen were covered with it, her legs. It literally looked to me like mold. And if anybody has ever found a tarantula that's dead, sometimes they get this like white fuzzy mold that grows over them. And I panicked a bit because I thought that's what this was. And then as we were looking at it, I texted Billy and told her I think the Sturmey might be dead. I'm a little worried, even though I've been keeping an eye on her and it didn't seem like she should have had mold on her. It had only been a day or so. It was still alarming. So basically what I had is an idea that maybe it was hairs. Now, obviously, when tarantulas molt, a lot of them will kick the urticating hairs around where they're going to molt, so it kind of acts as a barrier of protection for them. In this case, it appeared she had basically been sitting in the same spot for a few days. It looked like she had kicked all of her abdomen hairs free, and she had a full abdomen of hair before she molted, and basically rolled in it. She had it purposely coated herself in it. And quite frankly, my theory on this, and again, it's just a theory, but it makes a lot of sense, is that in the wild, if she were to do this and flip over, and she wasn't in a space like underneath a hide or in her burrow, or even if she was in her burrow, something could nose around in there, and if it nosed around and poked at her, it would get a nose full of those urticating hairs, which would be a fantastic protection to any predator trying to eat her while she was in that state. So I'm thinking what happened was, and I've never seen this done in this, like there was a lot of hair, I've never seen it done like this before, is that she purposely laid down the hairs, rolled in them, and so when she flipped over, she had this barrier. I've just never seen so much hair from a spider, and as you could see on that molt, there was a lot of it. And here we go with the molt, an easy 9 inches, so I'm guessing she's probably between 9 and 10 inches now. Really, really big girl. And I got this one as a sling. She was about 1.25 inches or so, so really cool to see her sporting her huge adult size. And she's probably got more molts left in her. I do have a mature male, ready to go. So the goal now is to let her harden up a little bit more. It's been about a week and a half or so. These guys can take up to a month and a half to start eating after a molt. They're huge. And then we're going to start fattening her up again. And there she is next to my fat hand. You can see much, much longer. Just a huge spider. I love the species. And I know some people find them to just be big brown spiders, but the size of them alone is just awe-inspiring. So there she is, my female T. sturmey, looking great and huge. All right, about to do a couple rehousings. Billy and I are both sick this morning, so this should be a very low energy one. First one we're going to do is one of my chicken spiders, or Pamphobeteus species Arañopollitos. This one just molted, as you can see here, about maybe a week ago. There is the molt, and these guys have been quite skittish, so I'm guessing this one will be quite the adventure. There's been a lot of talk about whether these guys are just Pamphobeteus antinus, sold under a different name. I can't comment on all the different species of P. antinus being sold right now because there are literally, I believe, 4 or 5 different spiders being sold. There's like big black, there's blue, it's all different colors. It's quite mixed up right now, but this does not look like the P. antinus that I have, especially at this size. At this size, mine was more of a brown color. This one, if you look up closely, I don't know if you're going to be able to get close. It's got that velvety abdomen with the red hairs on the end, and then the velvety legs with just the large hairs. Very interesting looking spider, and definitely doesn't look like the other one. So what we're going to try to do is pull this piece of cork bark out, get it in a catch cup. This new enclosure is a mixture of cocoa fiber and vermiculite. I'm switching some of mine over because I had a gnat problem. It was basically 1 bag of substrate, and unfortunately it produced so many gnats that they pretty much infected anything that had moisture in it. So for the time being, I'm switching over to this. They can't seem to sustain themselves in this very long. I do use cleaner insects, and I will say the cleaner insects did nothing in the bag of substrate I had. I believe it was the one for the emperor scorpion, right? That all blew up. It was the female emperor scorpion that all blew up, and then they just went everywhere. So we're going to back off, use this for a little while. I'll probably switch back eventually to my regular dirt, but we'll see. So see if I can do this without getting haired because I couldn't find gloves today. You want to get a shot. There they are with a little booty up in the air. It's their trademark to make themselves look bigger. And what we're going to do is go ahead and try to drop the catch cup right over it without incident. Make sure I don't catch the legs. If anybody, I've got the front open so their legs aren't caught. What I'm going to do is just kind of carefully, these figures, the ones I expect to go all ape on there, fine. And again, I apologize for the stuffy nose. We get to go to a picnic with my family in a minute. I'm so excited. Can't wait. It's my favorite thing to do in the world next to prostate exams. And there she is. Gorgeous little spider. I'll take it from Billy for a second because I think I have a better angle here, and I'll try to get nice and close. It's a little pinkish on the abdomens. I do love the velvety appearance of them. And again, my Pamphobetus antinus did not have that look to her at this size. So it could just mean it's a different species of Pantanus. Again, there are several being sold as Antinus right now, but here you can see I love the velvety hairs on the abdomen, not normally what you see on spiders this size. Usually they're a bit more fluffy. There we go, chicken spider, Pamphobetus species Arañopollito. Oh, I just blew. I thought it was nice. Oh, there you can see the velvety hairs. Almost a bluish tinge to it.
Yeah.
Bluish and pinkish with the knees. Get a good shot of her. Hopefully it's a female. I gotta go. It was supposed to be a female. I'm gonna sex out them all. Here we go. Gorgeous spider. Hopefully she'll have what she's got here is a few inches. They do like to burrow a bit, so I gave her a few inches. Big piece of cork bark. I expect that she'll do some burrowing in there, and this should hold her for a molt or two. We'll see how it goes. There we go. That was easy. Good, because I don't feel good. I feel well. And finally, we have the update on the P. regius, the jumping spiders, regal jumping spiders. Here we go. Here's me basically getting one of them inside the little vials that we would put them in. This was a lot of fun. They, after doing the breeding video, it was about 3 or 4 weeks. The mother laid the sac or created the sac, and then a few weeks after that you could see the babies forming inside of it. When they started coming out, they were basically all over the place, so we took the sac out, which was, as you can see here, a huge pain. Those little guys do not want to go where you want them to go, and there were quite a few of them. So what we did is I put them in these vials here. These have holes punched in them, and in a moment you'll see what I created to kind of hold them in. But there's the sac with some of the babies still in it. Yeah, they did not want to go in there. This took quite a while. And as you can see at the beginning of the video, we had music blasting when we did this because it took quite a while. And it was a little bit boring and monotonous. But we got them all done and the majority of them out. We did leave some of them together because I couldn't get everybody out of the sack initially. So what I did was took the sack and put it into a 32-ounce deli container. And what happened, they started coming out and I started feeding them all at once, dropping in a bunch of flightless fruit flies, which I can't stand working with those things. But what I could do is basically open up the flightless fruit flies and then shake some over the top. They would go inside and then the things would hunt. And we'll see some of that in a minute. But here is what I created to hold them in. Now here they're upside down. What I did was basically use an old faucet box, cut little X's with a utility knife, and then push them through so it would hold all of them. And in a moment we're going to flash to. There we go. That's how I kept them. I pushed them through the bottom. So what happened is they did their little webbing up top, and then they could have sunlight because I have basically in my room a full spectrum lamp, and that's supposedly something these guys need. They're not like tarantulas that want to be kept in the dark. They will come out and hunt during the day, and when I put the light on, I notice a lot of them will come out and become more active. So what we were doing is basically getting those out. We'd pop the little bottom there, the little latch. I'd carefully missed the bottom in case I needed something to drink, and then we'd shoo in some flightless fruit flies, which was a lot of fun. Read, not fun at all. I did get a tip from somebody, and please chime in. I can't remember who it was, but somebody said if you put them in the freezer or the fridge for a little while, it slows the fruit flies down, makes them easier to work with, and that was great because what we were able to do is chill them out. I was able to shake some out into a bowl and then work with them to much more easily to get them into the enclosures with the spiders. Although they woke up very quickly, and then you had flightless fruit flies all over the place. So there's one there. Adorable little things. Very active. Very cute. And cannibals. That was one issue we had is some of the ones that I left in the sack in the 32-ounce container, and there they are there. Were starting to cannibalize each other. We called it the Hunger Games spiders because those were the ones that were getting super fat. But there you can see one of them eating, and the other one kind of eyeing the food. There's another one there eating. And those flightless fruit flies are absolutely tiny, but still bigger than the spiders, and the spiders can take them down. There's one there that's got one that's easily as big as it is. So it's really neat watching these guys, fascinating, watching these guys hunt and easily take down things that are the same size as them. Little guys there all eating. So the majority of them were feeding. I did have more higher mortality rate than I've had in slings in the past. It did seem like, which I thought was interesting, some came out much larger than others, and the little ones seem to get preyed upon very quickly by the larger ones. And I wonder if that's just a natural order of things, that when they come out of the sack originally, the bigger ones are able to kind of prey on the little ones to give them a better start. I don't know, it's just me guessing, but it did seem like there was a huge size difference between some of the ones I had, including the smaller ones are very, very tiny, and the bigger ones seem to be ready to take them off. And for people who want to pick these up, you can find them at Fear Not Tarantulas. I know a lot of people want me to start selling things myself, but I just don't have the time to do it right now. And this is the best of both worlds, because you can get the things that I produce, and you can get more for your shipping dollar. As I scroll up too high here, there they are, Phidippus regius jumping spiders, and those are my guides. So you can pick some of those up at Fear Not Tarantulas. They have them there. I would encourage people that are interested in them, grab them up. All right, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, I'm hoping probably starting in 2 weeks to get ones up on Saturday and Wednesday. And what I'll probably try to do is a husbandry video, and then something more like this where I just do some updates. I enjoy doing these, and I think it seems to be the response has been pretty good for people wanting to know what's going on. I've got some cool things coming in pretty soon that I don't want to talk about yet, but it involves a trade I'm doing with the jumping spiders. And again, if you'd like to get a hold of some of those jumping spiders, I know folks really want me to start selling these, and it's just not in the cards right now. I just don't have the time, the day to deal with the actual packaging and getting them out to FedEx and whatnot. So I think this is even a better deal, because you can go over to Fear Not Tarantulas, pick up something you're looking for from me, and then obviously Tanya has a huge selection over there, so you can get more stuff for your money, because I can't imagine selling some jumping spiders for $15 and then telling somebody it's going to cost $60 to ship. It just doesn't make any sense. So thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe up here. I never give myself enough time for the subscription button. Or if you'd like to check out some more videos beforehand before you decide, they'll be right in here. I already said thanks so much for watching, didn't I? Whatever. Hey, have a great day.